3 days on extra math. You can always practice. You can practice literally every day, if not more than one time a day. Fractions and measurement are really based on knowing your multiplication and division facts. So, you know, we've really got to get those under our belt. Then we also did some practicing of some fractions. I am going to download and upload some more practice with some more advanced mixed numbers using borrowing so that we can keep those skills up. And then next week when I post assignments, we will work on multiplication and division of fractions, which is what we were working on when we left. We'll also be extending our learning on measurement into metric. So this is what you can look forward to. And I'll send you a new checklist and a new list of assignments. And those are the main skills that we'll work on for the next 2 weeks. And then we'll be jumping into some geometry. Hopefully we'll be back to school by then, but if we're not, we're just going to plug right on and keep going because we may be stuck at home, but we're going to keep stretching our brains. So here we go. I marked off lesson 8, coordinate graphs. And I'm going to go to the last lesson in our packet, which is ordered pairs, and using the coordinate plane. Now, we took these notes in our journal, but I just want to remind you of what they are. So, and these are all the terms that you're kind of expected to use. So if you look up here, our standards of geometry, and the standard for 5th grade is that you can graph in the first coordinate. So I'm going to remind you, so we had in algebra, we went beyond the first quadrant. So remember, these are your positive numbers, and these are your negative numbers. These are your positive numbers, and these are your negative numbers. And we talked about the origin in the center is the point 0, 0. And that's up here where it says origin. We also talked about how you can remember these, that Y points to the sky, and that the X is horizontal or flat. So this is kind of a review. The Y is your vertical axis. So these things are called an axis. And this whole section is called a coordinate plane. Remember, you guys played Battleship on coordinate graphs. And then the last thing that we talked about, or the second to last, was that when you write them as an ordered pair, and that names a point. And the point is where the two lines intersect or meet. And we talked about how you can remember that it's alphabetical. The X comes first, the Y is second. And we talked about how they have parentheses around them and a comma in the middle. And then the last part that we talked about is the quadrants. So these 4 things, quad is the prefix that means 4, like quadrilateral. And so this is quadrant 1. It starts in the first quadrant that you're used to using. So this is 5th grade. And then in 6th grade, you're expected to be able to graph in all the quadrants. So you're going to go counterclockwise, 2, 3, and these are Roman numerals. We've talked about those before, and 4. And so if you look at the quadrants, I know in your journal what we focused on was the pattern. So in this quadrant, your XY pairs are going to be positive, positive. But in quadrant 2, your coordinate pairs are going to be negative, positive. In quadrant 3, all your coordinate pairs are going to be negative, negative. And in quadrant 4, all your pairs are going to be positive, negative. So this would be 6th grade level, but for fifth, we're just going to focus on this one. So there's three types of problems they're going to ask you to do. One is they're going to give you an object, and they're going to ask you to name the coordinate pair. That's the first type, so that's lowest level. The second one is, this is the same level. They're going to give you, say, draw a point on this pair. So they'll say like 2, 1, and you would need to draw a point. And then the third one is they're going to give you a scenario or story where you're going to move from one place to another one, and you're going to have to tell how you would move. So for instance, if I was walking from the school to Amy's house, I might go up 1, 2, 3 and over 2. So that's the last kind. They're going to give you a scenario, and they're going to say, if you walked this direction, where would you be? Or if you wanted to get from point A to point B, how would you get there and how would you walk? And so you're going to have to be able to kind of come up with the story of how you would get there. So those are the two ways they ask the questions, or three ways. Start at the origins. We know the origin is 0, 0, right at the corner. Move right along the axis until you're at Amy's house. So we're going to move over 3. And the coordinate graph there is 3, 0, because we haven't gone up any. Then we're going to move up till we get to Amy's house here. So now the y coordinate, so go to my y-axis, and it's a good, whenever you see these, just label your axes. Axes is plural for axis. 1 axis, 2 axes. So we're going to, I'm not sure how to spell that. It may be, there we go. I'm not sure, but we pronounce it axes. So we're going to go up, and now we are at 5. And so the coordinate, would be we're at 3 on the